3 o'clock, so we can get started. I want to convene this meeting of the Engineering Committee for the San Lorenzo Valley Water District for December 17th, 2025. Leo.
President Smalley,
Here.
Francis Leland,
Here.
Bill Grace,
Here.
and Ken Landy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have one item on the agenda, cross-connection control policy. So, an exciting one. Jesse, you're taking the
Yep, I'll take it on.
lead of this. Okay.
All right. Well, the purpose of this agenda item is to review and discuss the district's proposed cross-connection control policy. In October of this year, the district retained Knutson Cross Connection and Backflow Services to assist staff in developing the district's cross-connection control policy and to serve as the district's cross-connection control specialist of record. This policy is mandated by the State Water Resources Control Board and is required to be submitted no later than January 1st, 2026. The draft presented today has been completed and is ready for submittal. That'll take any questions.
Okay. First, before I solicit questions, why don't you tell us what this policy is? What is a cross connection? What's the cross connection control policy needed for? Why do we have this?
Well, the beginning of the policy, there's a background, so I'll just kind of go off that. Backflow is undesired or unintended reversal of flow of water, of other liquids or gases or other substances into a public water system.
So what is unintended flow? How would this happen? You were telling me earlier. Tell me the same thing again.
This is, something out of our sanitary control. So it'd be on the customer side, and this is a variety. The most common would be auxiliary water sources such as hot tubs, swimming pools, rain catchment, and fire systems as well. The other possibilities are for more industrial and commercial, such as like a veterinarian, dentist, any type of anything industrial. Salon, yeah, it's good. Dry cleaner, that kind of stuff. So the idea of this policy is just protect public health by ensuring that there's proper devices in place to prevent any type of backflow. So any type of the bad stuff on the customer side won't be brought into our system.
Through the water line, not through the ground.
No, not through. It's all based on the.
And how would that happen through the water line?
So if we had a main break, you'd have some negative pressure, and if you had a hose in your swimming pool, you could theoretically, a main break could create a negative vacuum, and that water would be pulled out of the pool through your hose through the customer's service line into our system.
So this is only in case of some kind of failure in the system that this could occur.
Yeah,
Normally it would not.
It can also occur if on the customer side, they have something that generates pressure and pushes stuff back through.
Yeah, we have a water tank that you guys have to monitor on a daily basis to make sure it doesn't fall below a certain level. And sometimes we run out of water. And then I'm thinking there are several houses on our street that have fire sprinkler systems that are above the line that feeds them. And if you just said that water might flow back into the system if there's no water pressure in the main line on our street.
yes,
right?
Correct. Yeah, so that's why it's important.
So that's
pressure.
we have a danger there.
Yes, correct. And the district does have in the rules and regulations a policy for backflow devices, albeit it's out of date. As January or July 1st, 2024, the state mandated these new policies. We received a 6-month extension, so that's why our due date is January 1st for submittal.
So might I have a backflow device on my system?
You may, yeah.
And what does it look like exactly?
It's called a double check valve, is one of the more common ones. It's made out of brass, typically.
I'll check it.
But
And where would these be located?
where would they be located? How would he go find this? Tell us more. What they look like.
They should be installed close to your meter. So on your side of the meter, on the customer side of the meter.
Okay.
Above ground, below ground?
Above ground.
Okay.
Most of, there are double check valves that you can install underground. The trick to that is they have to be testable. So that's the key is
Yeah.
these backflow devices, you need to be tested at least annually.
So generally, when you see this in somebody's yard,
That's a backflow device.
that's generally a backflow preventer that's on that. The smaller ones are about like
Yeah,
this.
but I have a 2-inch line,
It's okay,
which is untypical of,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, they make them all different sizes.
Yeah.
It just costs a little more than a 3/4 inch.
Are those the large things we see outside commercial establishments?
Yeah, so most
Comes up, you see the
Yeah.
double-headed thing.
a lot of the commercials one will have a reduced pressure, which has a higher level of
This is what they look like.
sanitary. That's a double check valve there, yeah.
oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I have that.
Very doubtful
Yes.
if your system was put in 93.
Yeah.
So, tell us more then, what's the district planning on doing with this?
Yeah, so part of having the policy is having a cross connection control specialist on staff. So we have a new construction inspector, Andrew, and he's in the process of acquiring his cross connection control specialist license. That, not only will he on the books we'll have someone on staff, but he will kind of coordinate this program, and this will be during the hazard assessment. He can give it the degree of hazard and what type of backflow device is needed for each home. We're also our field customer service representatives are now required to become the next level to get their backflow testing certificate, which is one level lower than the specialist. So to become a specialist, you have to become a backflow tester and then become a specialist. So that's one part, is having the staff in place and having and the actual physical part would be
Yes.
is the first part in the policy you'll see is it's a 5-year hazard assessment is what we ask from the state. Hasn't been approved by the state yet, so we haven't submitted. So they may ask to change it, make it 3 years. But I know Scotts Valley Water District just submitted theirs last year and received a 5-year window to do their hazard assessment. So basically, the hazard assessment is we would check all connections and assess whether they need a backflow device, and if so, what type they need.
So is that going to every resident, going to every building, going to every customer that we serve
Yes.
to see what their usage is at their home,
Yes.
see whether they have sprinkler systems, see whether they have a pool.
Mm-hmm. And if you have a pool or a hot tub, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a backflow device. If you fill it with a hose and then you don't have plumbing directly plumbed into it, you can get away with an annual inspection to show that you are filling with a hose and your hose has a proper vacuum air brake device on it, which isn't considered a backflow device. And it's a lot more simpler and easier to install and a lot cheaper for us.
But it is we're gonna have staff out at every customer's to see.
That's the plan.
Or is it assessing through, I don't know, online or?
There's surveys. We're gonna roll out a survey for the customers, so they may be able to self-identify, to the honor system, you say, and
right to the ones that do you have a sprinkler system?
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. Then
with that point, we won't necessarily have to go out there. We already know.
And once, excuse me, once a location or site has been inspected and either passed or not passed or whatever, some documentation will be given to the homeowners.
Yeah, so they'll be noticed. Yeah, let me see where this is.
I'm jumping ahead, maybe.
You're yeah, so they will be noticed. Let's see here. Anyway, yeah, the customer will be notified. They have a time period of when they have to get this. They need to have it installed, and it needs to be tested. What's installed needs to be tested by a certified backflow, someone that's certified to test backflows. And basically, we will document that we will give them a letter showing that their device was tested, it passed, and we were basically granting them, giving them permission to proceed and give them service.
So is this really a new requirement? Because sounds like, at least for most customers, they haven't been asked to do this
Yeah.
before.
It's not a new requirement. Backflows aren't a new requirement, but the July 1st, 2025, it became a lot more robust. The state
Okay.
added a lot more. They
Putting
came
more
out with
pressure on you.
yeah, they came out with a handbook. They call it a handbook, which goes through the guidelines, and they're
Okay.
far more detailed than they used to be.
And it can't be linked into the meter at all, because backflow, obviously the meter could read backflow,
Oh yeah.
but I guess that's not what the meters now are designed to do.
No, that's a good point. I guess there could be an incident where the meter was flowing backwards. It could alert us for our cellular
Yeah.
read meters.
Power system, that's always the case. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
But what a backflow does is it has, like a double check, has two valves in there that close immediately as soon as enough pressure and flow is recognized.
The meter's not gonna do that. The meter might say, hey, you have reverse flow.
Contaminated the system.
Exactly.
Correct.
Contamination of the main line is what we're also concerned about.
Yeah, but this would be at the customer site, which is where these backflow things
Right.
will be. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if the meter could be
It would
used
tell you
for
that
it.
your backflow device failed, basically. If you
Yeah,
have
or
one
that-
and one's
or
gonna,
that you need one.
or you
Because-
need one,
Yeah.
you know, if you don't have auxiliary water and you don't have anything that's deemed as hazardous, you may still not necessarily need a backflow device, even though you do see some backflow going through the meter.
Yeah, well, that may be where, at least it'll give you an indication.
Mhm.
Hey, maybe we need to go there and check, and if everything's okay, then fine, but if it's not, then,
Right.
And one thing we've been doing for the last few years is when we install a new meter set, we install a check valve,
mhm.
which isn't a certified backflow device, but
Okay.
it is a step towards protecting and
Okay.
Also, most modern cellular meters have a reverse flow alarm.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so this is Otter, yeah.
Right. You just made two statements. You said when you install a new meter, does that mean a new connection or when the meter is being replaced by the water district, which has happened fairly recently on a lot of them, so we got these electronic readouts.
Mhm.
Does that mean that when that happened in the last 5 years or something like that?
Yeah, it's so both. There are instances where the meter box is too small to install the check valve. So we'll advise the customer to put a check valve in. But if we're putting a new meter box in, we will put a new check valve in.
Second part of it. This is being mandated to the water district by the state.
Yes, correct.
How is the district justified in asking the ratepayers to pay for this?
I don't have a good answer for that. It's just the district's obligated to follow all state and federal laws and. that's what
Right,
we have
which
to do.
means the district should be putting them in.
Well,
I'm
the
playing
law
devil's
states-
advocate here, okay?
The law states that we do the analysis and we do the survey. But it is up to the customer to put it on their side.
Yeah.
But is that somewhere in the arrangements, the
Yeah,
documentation
it's in the
we have
language of
with the water district?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at lots of customers who are gonna say, you want this, you put it in.
That's the whole reason.
For
Many of them
Yeah.
maybe can't afford to put
They
it on.
can shut the water off if you don't put it in,
Yeah.
right?
And it's,
It is in the
So
policy.
they have the ultimate gotcha.
and it's
Public health.
generally
Right.
anything beyond the meter is the customers.
And they have to test it annually.
Yeah. Yes.
I
So-
understand that, but if
And their
the state
costs.
is mandating it,
I understand.
all right?
Yeah.
I think we better be prepared
Mhm.
for many
I
customers to
think
say,
there's gonna be some pushback. That's a good point.
Yeah, Ken, that's a good
where
point.
does it say
There's,
that I have to pay for this?
yeah, it's
And have it tested every year.
I know this is happening in other water districts too. It's an issue with customers where
Okay, that may be outside your area,
What,
because you're in charge of getting it done, not getting paid for it.
right, what percentage of customers do you estimate that are gonna need backflow preventers? Is this 10%? Is this 50%?
I don't have a percentage for you, right? I would say,
You can guess.
yeah,
I'm okay with
I
that.
will guess 25%,
Okay.
30. Just
I would say in the regulatory climate,
Yeah.
there's gonna be more pressure to have backflow preventers on more service connections in the future. That's where we're
Yeah.
going.
And given that new homes are almost always required to have fire sprinklers,
Right.
which is an
Yeah.
indicator,
Any new,
any new connections are
yeah,
more likely than not to need one.
Can we, as homeowners, find out if we already have one in there that was put in when the meters were changed?
Yeah, so we have every customer in our system that has a backflow device, we have it documented because we have to make sure they're testing it every year. So any customer can, if they're not sure, can reach out and we can look up our records.
I mean, these are questions that are gonna come up.
Yeah.
if it's the annual testing also, I think the district should consider how to have staff that could do that and because for me as a customer to have to call one of the firms, the companies to it's going to be significant
Yeah.
cost on that. So
Yeah.
if the meter readers are getting certified for backflow testing, is that even if it's a charge to customers from the district, I think that the district could do that a lot more economically to customers than having these specialist companies come out on a one-off basis.
So probably would be a lot more reliable too, because how many customers are gonna make that a priority?
Yes.
Well,
Unless the water's gonna be shut off.
It's required and we give the customers notices when they are not, and it's not tested. I mean, I would say this was discussed,
Right.
because we do have our meter readers becoming certified.
Right. Yeah.
The industry standard would be it's the customer's responsibility to hire someone. That being said, I mean, it's open-ended right now.
It's the customer's responsibility to get it tested.
Right.
Whether or not the district wants to offer that service.
Yes, yes. For the district to be able to offer it, the district is going to charge, let me pick a number here, $50. But for me to go out and get a private firm to do it, it's going to be $250 to have them. Which one of those, if I have to do this? So,
To answer Ken's earlier question, Health and Safety Code sections 116800 state water users shall comply with all orders, instructions, regulations, and notices from the local health officer with respect to the installation, testing, and maintenance of backflow prevention devices. The local health officer may collect fees from those urban water users subject to the inspection to offset the cost of implementing cross-connection control programs.
so May.
I know that the regulations, I'm sure, are there, but I can guarantee that 80% or 90%.
Well, they're not gonna like it. No, I
Have
understand
no
that.
idea, all right?
I wouldn't
You
like
also
it.
made reference to meter readers. I don't think anybody reads my meter anymore. It's
That's the kind of meter you had, but yeah.
It goes to my water or
AMI
something,
system.
because I can check it at home.
You have a cellular reading.
So there's nobody coming around looking at the meters. It gets transmitted up to some receiver somewhere.
Yeah, and we're going more and more towards putting those type of meters in.
Okay.
So do those.
So we don't have
when
a,
they were put in, automatically now have the backflow or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
service sends out a letter
Yeah.
to the end of
Do you know how many there are
They get
currently?
flagged.
Yeah, I do. I just, are you talking about cellular or backflow devices?
backflow.
Backflow devices?
Have that for tomorrow night.
Yeah, I do. I should. So 200 something, I believe.
Okay.
I will have that.
Is it 3,000 customers?
7,800.
7,800, okay, so.
Yeah.
8,000.
And at 200, I'll come back.
And I'm sure, assuming that the vast majority of the 200 are commercial.
Yeah, I would
Most
think
of
so.
them,
Yeah, yeah. How many homes have sprinklers that?
So it seems to make sense that any new meters that are put in should have the backflow capability. So that eventually this issue of who pays for it and testing it and everything goes away, because the meters should be able to at least know whether they're working or not.
So they will, like we discussed, you will be able to see like backflow. You'll get an alert on that, but that's not a certified backflow device. And
Okay, so not
it won't work.
revenue.
It needs to be able to be tested.
Yeah.
Is the key.
Mm.
And the meters.
And the meter doesn't function to dump water or to shut off.
No.
It's just you're seeing a reverse flow. So
Yeah.
it's not designed or set up the same way.
It's not now. I'm just thinking in the future, I can't imagine that at least more expensive meters might not have this more
Yeah.
automated capability as being more critical.
I don't know.
But I mean, we're not trying to measure when it happens. We're trying to put in
Just
fixtures
that
so
it
that it
happened.
isn't possible to happen. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
different things.
So we've talked about a lot about the needs and the reasons for this, but we didn't talk about the words of the policy to see if anybody has any comments or questions about the words of the policy itself. Does anybody?
It was too wordy for me to read the whole thing. So.
Okay. Okay.
And we're not lawyers.
The state will review and approve it, so.
Good point by Garrett. This policy, you know, the nuisance services followed
Mhm.
state guidelines when
Mhm.
putting this policy
Yeah.
together, similar to the consumer confidence report. You know, the state basically tells us what to put in it, and we follow those guidelines.
Okay. Okay. So the requirement, although it's coming from the state, seems like a good idea if it's protecting public health.
That's the idea.
So we haven't been doing it over the last number of years.
I wouldn't say we haven't. We not as much as we should have.
Okay, it's not as robust of a.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what changes, if anything, has Knutson recommended yet, other than put this policy together and then start the cross connection assessments
Yeah.
that you've heard? Has Knutson recommended anything else?
Not that I'm aware of. It's just the
Okay.
updated policy handbook is what they would.
One item I found interesting was that on 4-inch connections, we have to have an RP backflow device.
Yeah, that's
An RP. Tell us what an RP is.
reduced pressure backflow device. So
Okay.
it not only does it have the double check valve, but also has a device where you see that negative pressure. It basically closes itself.
Right.
Understanding. You know, that being said, we don't have two. The 4-inch is going to be a commercial.
Yeah.
And a lot of our commercial businesses already have them. You know, there may be that any commercial that has a 4-inch most likely already has a backflow device. I haven't done the full assessment,
Right.
so there may be
Right.
some out there, but
The device you see dripping at the park is an RP.
Because it's designed
It's designed to
to
dump.
some degree to do that, but it does leak also, and I don't think it's designed to do that. No. Because every once in a while, it seems like when I walk by, it's spray.
Yeah, it sounds like it needs to be repaired.
Yeah, I think the seals on it are probably out.
well,
So
that device.
Does anybody have any questions about the policy or comments on the policy, the words of? If not, does anybody have any other questions about this item?
Is Knutson gonna continue to be under contract?
Yeah,
As
until
the,
we have a licensed certified backflow specialist.
Right.
Okay, that's until he's trained.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then once he is, then Knutson will no longer be needed.
Correct. Right. So we have a contract with them that we
I have a question
set
about
up so that we're not having to pay once we have our
Our
own.
own guy.
Right.
Yeah, just to
So it's
piggyback
not
on
a
that
firm fixed on.
a little bit, the part of the contract is, I would say, like kind of two part. The first part is he helped us develop the policy. It's required that a cross connection control specialist develops the policy.
Sure.
And then the other part is the record of the specialist on record. So if there was an incident, he would be the one that would have to fill out the assessment, the follow up to an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, question. What is the expected time frame for the implementation on various steps on this?
Yeah.
First, it has to be approved, I assume, by the,
So
by the board?
Yeah, so the policy is not about, so the policy needs to be submitted to the state by January 1st. So we'll get it submitted.
Oh,
Once it's approved, we'll bring it back to the board. And we actually currently have a policy, so I'm guessing we'll just amend the current policy with the new policy. Once it's approved by the board, it's in our policies, then we will actually start implementing it. And right as we have it written right now, if the state approves it, we would start off with a hazard assessment, which is a
so there will be some kind of a plan that can be shown to this committee on what the steps were going to be and about what the timeframes are. For those who dealt with me before know that I'm a big pusher of Gantt charts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay, so that we can look at it and say, okay, this is what we should be doing now, this is what we're gonna be doing next month, et cetera, to see how it's moving forward.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions? If not, I think we're done with this except for the introductory information that you described here tonight. Please do that tomorrow evening also when this comes in front of the board, because I think they're going to be similar. What is this? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So give the board that background also.
Okay, so on my initial presentation,
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's useful then for us as board members to understand, why are we even talking about this? So, yeah, and then kind of the district's plan looking forward. And we've submitted to the state for a 5-year program to do all of these assessments. Here's how we'd be doing these assessments. Okay, yeah. So, okay. I don't have any other comments on this. Do we have anything else on the agenda?
That's it. It looks like.
Jesse showed it there.
Yeah, okay. I think that's it then. That wraps up this year's engineering committee meetings. Francis, Ken, Bill, thanks for your participation in this
thank
year.
you, Alan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not the end of the committee. We'll move forward until next year, right?
The committee moves forward. That's this.
This committee, no, this meeting, of course, but the committee dissolves next year?
Well,
At
reformed.
December 31st.
Oh, really?
but the engineering, these meetings as a committee continues.
Oh, all right.
The members, individuals that are here change.
Okay.
And every November, we ask for committee members to reapply.
Okay.
So that's the process that we're in right now.
All right.
And
I'm aware of
it's
that.
out there for anybody who hasn't applied yet.
Right. So
Still open.
for anybody that wasn't aware of it, that wants to continue to participate, Francis and Bill.
We need to reapply.
Reapply.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Through
And
who? Jen?
No, so if you go to our website, there's a direct link. I've also been emailing everybody with the application.
yes,
So
yes.
you have it in
And,
the mailbox.
and in the past, it's been acceptable for committee members who are existing to say, please just resubmit my application from last year. And as long as we have
Yeah,
that,
you just had something in writing, that's all.
yeah, as long as we have something in writing, rather than just saying, yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Something in writing so that the full board, when the board looks at all of the applications, can see, okay, that person is interested. So, and I'm not mentioning Ken because I'm aware that Ken has reapplied because he's been used to this process
Oh,
before.
no.
So,
Still have to,
Had
okay.
to change the words for another year.
yeah. But,
All right,
okay.
let's do that.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I think it's a requirement of the state or well, probably the Brown Act or something. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's part of the district's policy manual that's the way we do it. So,
Other organizations that I'm involved with also require
okay,
that you resubmit your interest in something,
right.
even though you've been in it for 10 years or something.
Well, the board changes the officers every year, so, and the president has the authority to make up the committees, so.
Right. Yes. Okay. So. Okay. With that, we can then adjourn.
Thank you.
So, but I